silence. It can be as peaceful as a calm sea or as deafening as a storm's roar. When wielded in the realm of relationships, however, silence can become a weapon, a shield, a labyrinth of unanswered questions. Today, my dear listener, we're diving into the intricate, often maddening world of stonewalling. We'll explore how to approach it, navigate it, and most importantly, break through it. Not with force, but with understanding. But let us begin with a question that cuts to the heart of the matter. What do you do when the person you love refuses to speak? It's a torment like no other, isn't it? You stand there, words tumbling in your mind, desperate to bridge the chasm that's opened between you, only to find them retreating further into silence. But fear not, for there is a way forward. Let's first unravel the essence of stonewalling. Picture this. You've spoken your heart, laid it bare on the table, and what do you receive in return? Nothing. No words, no acknowledgement. Just a wall, impenetrable and cold. It feels personal, doesn't it? But let me assure you, it is rarely about you. Stonewalling at its core is a defense mechanism. For the dismissive avoidant, it is an act of self-preservation. They've spent a lifetime learning that emotions are dangerous, vulnerability a trap, and so when the heat of conflict rises, they retreat to the safety of silence. For the fearful avoidant, it's a different beast. Their silence may be laced with confusion, fear, even resentment, a product of deep-seated wounds and a desperate need to protect themselves. But here's the irony. Both crave connection. Yes, even in their silence, they long for understanding, for safety, for love. They simply don't know how to ask for it. Now, here's where the art lies. Not in tearing down the wall, but in gently knocking, patiently waiting, and crafting a space where they feel safe to let you in. Let's talk about scripts, not the rigid, lifeless lines of a bad play, but the kind of words that weave understanding, compassion, and boundaries into a tapestry of connection. Imagine this. The next time you find yourself on the receiving end of stonewalling, you take a deep breath, and then, with a calm yet resolute tone, you say something like this. I can feel that you're shutting me out right now, and I want you to know that I respect your need for space. But at the same time, staying in this silence won't help us resolve what's truly happening. I'd love for us to work through this together when you're ready, so we can understand each other better. What have you done here? You've acknowledged their need for space, validated their experience, and yet gently reminded them of the importance of connection. You've laid the groundwork for dialogue without forcing it. That, my friend, is the art of communication. Allow me to share a story. Two couples, two conflicts, and two very different outcomes. In the first, Clara and James found themselves in yet another argument. James, a dismissive avoidant, shut down completely. Clara, feeling hurt and ignored, raised her voice, demanding that he speak. The more she pushed, the further he retreated, until days passed without a word exchanged. They became adversaries in their own love story, each entrenched in their pain. In the second, we have Margaret and Henry. Henry too was prone to stonewalling, but Margaret approached him differently. Instead of pushing, she left him with a gentle note. I know this is hard for you. I want to understand what you're feeling, but I'll wait until you're ready to share. Within hours, Henry returned, tentative but willing to talk. And so, their story took a different turn. Not because Henry changed overnight, but because Margaret's approach created a bridge instead of a battlefield. Words, my dear listener, are our most powerful tool, but they must be wielded with care. When someone is stonewalling, they are already in a state of emotional dysregulation. They're not ready for confrontation or critique. What they need is to feel seen, heard, and safe. Here's another phrase for your arsenal. When you're ready, I'd like to talk about this. I want to understand what you're going through, and I'd love for us to work together to find a way forward that feels good for both of us. Notice the balance here. You're inviting them into dialogue, not demanding it. You're expressing your needs while honoring theirs. This is how we begin to chip away at the wall. But let us not forget, compassion does not mean capitulation. You are not here to be a martyr. Your needs, your feelings, your boundaries, they matter just as much. When the time is right, communicate your boundaries clearly and calmly. For instance, I want us to work through this together, but if we continue to stay in this cycle of silence, it's going to hurt our relationship. I need us to find a way to address conflicts that allows both of us to feel heard and respected. This is not a threat. It's a statement of truth. A relationship cannot thrive in the shadows of unspoken pain. By setting boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself, you're offering them a blueprint for healthier connection. Now, let us address the elephant in the room. What if they don't respond? What if the silence persists? The walls remain unbroken? Here's the truth. A relationship is a two-way street. You can extend the olive branch, but you cannot force someone to take it. If their silence becomes a pattern, if they refuse to meet you halfway, then you must ask yourself, is this the love I deserve? Walking away is never easy, but sometimes it is necessary. It is not an act of defeat, but of self-preservation. You deserve a love that speaks, that listens, that fights for connection. As we conclude, I leave you with this. Stonewalling is not the end of the story. It is a chapter, a challenge, an opportunity for growth. With patience, compassion, and clear communication, you can navigate these moments with grace. But remember, my dear listener, that your voice matters. Your needs matter. Do not lose yourself in the silence of another. Speak with courage, love with intention, and above all, honor the beautiful, complex, and worthy soul that you are. And so, as the curtain falls on this monologue, take these words with you. The walls we build can be torn down, but only when both parties hold the hammer. Until then, tread carefully, love boldly, and never settle for less than you deserve.